In this lesson, we will learn the basics of the built-in package ring. It is a useful package to deal with histories, therefore we are going to use it to build the prompt history feature. With that package, we can easily add or remove elements, and given an element, we can also easily find its previous or next element. In this lesson, we are going to see two ways to create rings and also two ways to insert elements into those rings. Let's start by creating a variable r, which is a ring of size 3. So we use the function makeRing to do that. We evaluate that expression and we see in the echo area that the ring structure has been created, and we are not going to describe it in that lesson. Let's continue and check that that ring is empty. So we can do that with the function ring_empty_p. We pass the r, and we see now, if we evaluate, that this returns true because the ring is empty. Now, let's insert some elements. We see that we have three functions that we can use to insert element to a ring, and we are going to use two of them. The first one is ring insert. So we insert into R the element foo1. So let's evaluate that expression, and we are going to insert more elements. So we evaluate to insert the element foo also, and to insert the element 3 also. Now we are going to list those elements in the ring. So we use the function ring element, and we can see now, if we evaluate that expression, that we have 3 elements in that ring R. Foo1 is the oldest one, and foo3 is the newest. Now, what happens if we try to insert a new element in a ring of size 3 with, which is full? So let's evaluate that expression, which insert that element foo4, and now we are going to list the element in the ring and see what happened. So foo1 was the oldest element. As we use the function ring insert and the ring was full, foo1 has been deleted, the ring rotated, foo2 became the oldest element now in the ring, and foo4 has been inserted as the newest element in the ring. So this is what happened. Let's continue and see another way to create rings, and also another way to insert which doesn't remove the oldest element in the ring. So we can do that. So let's call again setu the r, but this time we're going to use the function ring convert sequence to ring. So we can take a sequence as a starting point to create the ring. So not that one, I want this one. Okay, this one. So now we evaluate that expression, and we see in the echo area that the ring has been created, and we see those elements has been added in the vector of the structure of the ring structure. Now let's do again this, which is to list the elements in the ring, just to see that this is what we expect to see. Foo1 being the oldest one, and foo3 the newest. Now we are going to insert, but we're going to extend also the ring. Not really extend, but enlarge the size of the ring. So we pass R, we pass the item foo4, and also the third argument is grow-p, and we pass it through to say that yes, we want to grow and enlarge the ring. So now we evaluate that expression, and we are going to list again the element in that ring and comment a little bit. So we see now foo1 was the oldest element in the ring. It is still the oldest element in the ring. The ring didn't rotate, it has been enlarged, and foo4 became the newest element in the ring. In this section, we are going to see how to access ring elements. The first thing we do is to evaluate that expression, which defines the variable r as a ring of size 3. with foo1 being the oldest element and foo3 being the newest. Let's call ring elements as we did before, just to list those elements and see that this is what we think it is. Now, we are going to use the function ring ref to get elements in the ring R passing their index. So if we pass 0, we are going to get foo3, which is the newest element. Let's do that again. So ring ref R and maybe 1. And now we get foo2. Perfect. Let's continue. And now we're going to pass an element and we want the next element after and the previous before. So to do that, we use ring next, the ring R, and we are going to do that with foo2. So the next element after foo2 is foo1, and the next element, the previous element before foo2 in the ring is, as we see now, foo3. Okay, what happens if we want to get the next element of foo1? So let's write that. So ring next R and foo1. As foo1 is the oldest element, ring next wraps to the newest element. So we see now we get foo3. We are going to do something similar but with previous and foo3. So foo3 is the newest element. So if we want to get the previous element before foo3, ring previous wraps to the oldest element, which is foo1. Last thing to notice in that section is when we try to access to an element that doesn't exist, either with ring next or a ring previous. So not in R, and we see if we evaluate that expression that we get an error. In the next lesson, we will use what we did in this lesson and the previous one to build the prompt history feature.